Well, here we are, a few weeks into a new year, and 2017 is already shaping up to be an amazing year for gaming. Our whole team here at MMOHuts, that's myself, Jason, Darren, and Jamie, all teamed up to talk about which games we were most excited about. But which ones are the most exciting? Well, it's like the old saying goes, opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one, but only mine is correct. I'm Colton from MMOHuts.com, and here are the top 15 most anticipated games of 2017. Number 15, Lineage Eternal. We kick off our list with Lineage Eternal, the third game in the Lineage series. This one takes on a hack-and-slash ARPG type of presentation with a focus on heroic player experiences like huge siege battles and fights against massive, powerful bosses. The game currently features 13 different playable heroes called Eternals, and it uses an Eternal team system which allows you to freely switch between the characters in gameplay. The game also uses a dynamic and randomized dungeon system, but information on this is scarce at best right now. Lineage has been out of the main focus for a while, so it'll be nice to see a resurgence for the series. Number 14, Art of War. Art of War ranks relatively low on the list, given that it's more of an RTS than an MMO, but it does still have some of those MMO elements and is going to launch as a free-to-play title. It's a relatively simple one-on-one RTS tower defense game with huge potential for expansion. The game features 3 races and plenty of units and defenses for you to employ during matches. Number 13, Maplestory 2. Maplestory 2, the highly anticipated sequel to the original, sees the series explode into the third dimension. Sporting a visual style that's reminiscent of games like Minecraft, the bright colors, cute art style, and new depth of gameplay are sure to please Maplestory fans the world over when the game finally launches. Number 12, Revelation Online. Revelation Online has been an MMO with a good deal of excitement around it here in the MMOHuts offices, and it isn't too hard to see why. Fans of classic MMO gameplay combined with impressive visuals will have a lot to look forward to with Revelation. In my personal opinion, the game just doesn't bring enough in terms of interesting or new mechanics to the genre to break the top 10, but with its potential, it certainly has earned this number 12 spot. Number 11, Battlerite. Fans of the former Bloodline champions will be happy to get their hands on Battlerite, as it's expected to launch sometime this year. The game pits teams of 2 or more players into tight, arena-based combat where everything from your basic attacks to traversal is reliant on player skill. Battles center around team synergy and controlling the center ball objective to ensure victory across 3 rounds. Here's to hoping Battlerite can avoid the pitfalls of its predecessor. Number 10, LawBreakers. We here at MMOHuts have been following LawBreakers pretty closely since its first alpha demo event back in 2016. When we first played it, the game felt unique and fun. It was a fast-paced, class-based shooter with a lot of nail-biting, super clutch, last-minute plays that could turn the tide of a game in an instant. It comes as no surprise then that I was super excited when I finally got my closed beta invite for the game. The version we got a hold of in the beta, however, didn't quite resemble what we'd played in-house at BossKEY Studios. The game was terribly optimized, and even on our high-end machines, it ran horribly with inexplicable frame rate drops and game-crippling lag. We know the team at BossKEY Studio is hard at work on fixing these issues and ensuring that the final game is going to be worth playing. If they can reattain the glory that the alpha phase client had, or even get close to that, this game is going to change the shooter landscape quite a bit. Number 9, SkySaga. SkySaga is a gorgeous-looking MMO based heavily on the core concepts that made Minecraft a huge success. Players farm materials and create items, buildings, and essentially whatever else they can dream up, all while battling monsters, completing quests and dungeons, and teaming up with their friends in an open-world setting without the need of setting up host servers. Visually, the game is stunning with its bright color palette and rounded pixel design, and the gameplay is a blend of tried-and-true build-em-up interaction with RPG elements behind it. Number 8, Gwent. Gwent is just another ball in the pile in the proverbial McDonald's play place ball pit worth of card games we've had flood the market in 2016. That said, it is definitely worth checking out as we established in our first look in its closed alpha last year. Gwent is a wildly popular minigame from the Witcher series of games, and the standalone digital card game will allow fans of the series to finally enjoy all the Gwent they can handle without silly things like narrative or sex with women getting in the way. It's a simple to understand, difficult to master card game that really deserves your attention when it launches later this year. Number 7, Dreadnought. Dreadnought took the class-based shooter to the only possible place it had left to go after the debut and massive success of games like Overwatch in 2016.
Space!
Dreadnought allows for a slightly faster bit of fleet combat than games like Cloud Pirates would offer. Visually, it never ceases to impress, especially with explosions and laser effects. If you enjoy relatively fast-paced space combat, then you, like us, should be super excited about Dreadnought going live this year. Number 6. Smite Tactics. Smite Tactics has the potential to be a serious contender for the esports crown in the card game genre. It takes inspiration from games like Duelist and Final Fantasy Tactics while also pulling from the already established world of Smite for items, spells, and minion cards. The game is not without its own problems. Right now it's still in closed alpha, and balance really leaves something to be desired. Also, card distribution in packs and the time it takes to acquire them is in desperate need of adjustment, but once the game enters beta and it enters its official launch after that, and HI-REZ has really had the chance to apply that same level of polish that they have to Smite and Paladins, it will be a major player in the genre. Number 5. Cloud Pirates. We covered Cloud Pirates in a first look just a few months ago, and while the game has its worrying points, the overall concept and presentation are so endearing that it's really hard to ignore. Objective-based airship combat is really one-of-a-kind experience right now, and Cloud Pirates' execution on the idea is top-notch if you can get past the few issues it currently has with its interface. It's sometimes hard to read, fonts are boring or don't make sense, and the option menus are a little cluttered and redundant. When this game has been polished up and released to the masses, it's going to make serious waves. Number 4, Master X Master. Master X Master engulfed a solid month or two of our lives before we remembered we have jobs that required us to play other video games. The TAG-TEAM-MOBA concept was interesting on paper, but playing it was even more fun. It reminded me a lot of playing games like League of Legends and Marvel vs. Capcom at the same time, only I didn't contract the horrifying butt cancer that comes from being exposed to such a toxic community as League. If MOBAs are your jam, this is going to be your game in 2017. Number 3, Hyper Universe. What's that? A MOBA Smash Brothers 2D hybrid? Sure, you've got my attention. I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you just say there were going to be Power Rangers in this game? Okay, yeah, cool, that's what I thought you said. Here's my credit card number and the title to my house. They're yours now. This game not only looks fantastic in its animation and art style, but it features an interesting set of characters and a fast-paced gameplay that you'd more typically associate with fighting games. In my opinion, this game should be number 2 on the list, but this list was a group effort and we all voted on the entries. Number 2, Dark and Light. Dark and Light is a sandbox survival RPG, and it's by far one of the most ambitious projects I've read about in a long time. It boasts a completely open-world sandbox for you and other players to explore and conquer, challenging skill-based combat, and a magic system with over 100 different spells from a bunch of different elements. You'll learn how to hunt for food, craft your own weapons and armor, actually catch and tame your own mounts, explore dungeons and fight giant world boss monsters, and a whole lot more. This is looking like the game that fans of Skyrim might have been hoping for with Elder Scrolls Online, but maybe they didn't get. Number 1, Dauntless. Our number 1 spot goes to Dauntless, an incredible looking action MMO that could pass itself off easily as a successor to Monster Hunter. You'll team up with friends to hunt massive monsters called behemoths in a game world made of floating islands that actually move and evolve over time. The goal is for players to drive out these beasts and reclaim their home in a very impressive and incredibly stylized world. The combat system is entirely real-time and will look to challenge even the most seasoned and skilled players. Developers have been quoted in interviews as saying that their focus is to make sure every single attack and move that you do in the game is as fun to do on the 1000th time as it is to do on the first time, so expect a lot of unique and different combat elements in this game. Dauntless is going to make a huge name for itself in the action RPG genre and gaming as a whole. Well, that's our list. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and keep it locked on MMOHuts.com for all the latest gaming news and reviews.